Hi everyone and welcome back to Books with Karen. I'm Karen. If you're new here, a very warm welcome. I hope you stick around for the rest of the video, and if you're not new, thanks so much for coming back. So today's video is a book haul video. I haven't got tons of books. I think there's 9 books here I've got that have been new recently. Some are from the library, some are from a charity shop, and some I've bought. So I'm just going to go through them one by one. I know you love the book haul videos. They get the most views, and I think people like to have ideas of what they might pick up and read. I know I always like to see the book haul videos as well. So we'll start with some library books. I've got some fiction and non-fiction. This is a book I mentioned on a video recently when I was talking about books from my favourite holiday destinations. And this is The Hourglass by Tracy Rees. And it is set in Tenby in Wales, which is a favourite holiday destination of mine. So as always, I'm just going to read you the blurb on the back. This is a paperback book. It's got about 527 pages, so that's quite a thick book. It says enjoyable and intriguing. So it says 2014, sensible Nora has always taken success for granted until suddenly her life begins to fall apart. Troubled by anxiety and nightmares, she finds herself drawn to the faraway beaches of Tenby, a place she's only been to once. But Tenby hides a secret, and Nora will discover that this little town by the sea has the power to heal even the most painful memories. We've got some fantastic beaches in Tenby. Then it goes back to 1950. I do like a dual timeline. Teenager Chloe visits Tenby every summer. She stays with relatives and spends the long, idyllic days on the beach. Every year is the same until she meets a glamorous older boy and is instantly smitten. But on the night of their date, Chloe comes to a realisation, the aftermath of which could haunt her forever. A moving journey about finding love and the healing power of a magical place by the sea. I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is a library book, so I need to get it read quickly. And I've just noticed in the back of the book, there is a recipe for Gran's Welsh cakes. So I might even try making those when I read the book. I'll let you know if I do. So that was the first one. The other book I got from the library is How to Eat 30 Plants a Week by Hugh Fearnley-Whittenstall. I have heard of this book before, and with recipe books, I'm not a very good cook and I don't cook a lot, so I don't particularly want to buy the book. And I think this was probably £25 it says in here, so they're quite expensive. So it is good to go to the library and get them out and see what you think, and if you think you're going to use it regularly, then you can go out and buy it. So this one looks really good. How to Eat 30 Plants a Week. Introduction, how to eat more plants, big plant list, 10 steps to 30 plants a week. And then it's got ideas for breakfast, soups, stovetop suppers, 7 salads. Now I like the idea of that because I like salads, but I would like to be a little bit more adventurous with the salads I eat. Fish fivers, meat and many veg mains. I don't eat meat, but I do eat fish. Triple treat sides. So it does have some really interesting things in here. Roast summer veg with lemony dressing. That sounds lovely. That just sounds very summery, doesn't it? A cottage garden pie. That sounds good for the more wintry months, autumn months. Dressed raw kale and squash. So there's lots of ideas in here. Bashed potatoes, peas and spring onions. I mean, they sound simple. Usually what puts me off recipes is there's tons and tons of ingredients in them, and you buy the ingredients and then half of it gets wasted. So if I was going to do any of these, I would have to do them more than once so I don't waste the stuff. But yeah, it's got some interesting things in here. There's a recipe there for gazpacho soup. So I'll let you know how I get on with that in an upcoming roundup video, wrap-up video, so I can tell you what I thought of it. But yeah, it does look very interesting. The next book is one that my son Simon lent to us. Simon lends us quite a lot of books. And this one is The Secret Barrista by... Who's it by? It doesn't say. The Secret Barrista, Nothing But the Truth. The memoir of an unlikely lawyer. I wonder if it's anonymous for a reason. Could be. Here's the paperback. It says, Nothing But the Truth is a secret barrister's hilarious, sometimes shocking and frequently surprising memoir. In a diary that takes us behind the scenes of their middling ambition, it charts an outsider's progress down the winding path towards practicing at the bar, by way of the painfully archaic traditions of the Inns of Court, where every meal mandates a glass of port and a toast to the monarch, and the Hunger Games-style contest for pupillage, which most don't survive. Here is the brilliant reality of being a frustrated junior criminal barrister. As SB transforms from a hang-em and flog-em austerity-supporting 20-something to a celebrated campaigner with a keen eye for the absurd and an obsessive fondness for Twitter, they reveal the uncomfortable truths and darkest secrets about life in our criminal courts. That sounds really interesting, and I think that's obviously anonymous for a reason. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. I read the one where it was called This Is Going to Hurt. I can't remember who wrote it now, about a doctor who worked in hospitals, and that was really interesting to read. So yeah, I will be interested to read that one. The next book is something that I bought when I was on holiday recently in York. I was on a 2-night break in York, and I saw this in the charity shop window, and I thought, well, that sounds interesting. So I went inside and bought it, and it only cost us £3. And it's called On Location, A Guide to Visiting the UK and Ireland's Best Film and TV Sites by Peter Naldret. I haven't actually looked through it properly yet, but it's got sections for all different parts of the country. So South England, South West, Scotland, North England. Now, North England hasn't got some of the things I would have expected it to have, but it does have Durham Cathedral, which has been used in a couple of the Avengers films, and a castle, which was used in the Harry Potter films. So some of them I know about. So it'll be interesting to go through it and find out exactly what kind of things were filmed where. And obviously, if I visit any other parts of the UK, I can have a look first to see what might be in it that I can go and have a look at. So when I've had a flick through it, if I've visited some of the places, I will let you know in a future video. But yeah, I thought that would be very interesting. It says, who needs Hollywood? Leave the popcorn behind and get closer to the action. Visit the UK and Ireland's many TV and film locations and see where the clock was turned back for period dramas, where the countryside was transformed into alien worlds, and where seemingly ordinary places became legendary parts of our on-screen history. If you live somewhere where there has been filming taken place, let me know in the comments below what film it was or what TV series, and is it worth visiting? Now, the next couple of books I picked up from TK Maxx. TK Maxx is really good sometimes for books that you might not think about reading. I look in there quite often, but this one, George Orwell's 1984, has been on my list of books to read for quite a while. I know when me and my husband Warren are talking, we'll say, oh, you've had that jacket for years, and you'll say, yes, I've had it since 1984, or we'll say, oh, I haven't done that for ages. Yeah, it must have been 1984. So he's always used the year 1984 for a lot of things we talk about. So he should really read George Orwell's 1984. I've never really known what it was about. It says, it was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith works for the Ministry of Truth in London, chief city of Airstrip 1. Big Brother stares out from every poster. The thought police uncover every act of betrayal. When Winston finds love with Julia, he discovers that life does not have to be dull and deadening, and awakens to new possibilities. Despite the police helicopters that hover and circle overhead, Winston and Julia begin to question the party. They are drawn towards conspiracy, yet Big Brother will not tolerate dissent, even in the mind. For those with original thoughts, they invented Room 101. That does sound interesting, and I didn't actually know what it was about. Simon's read it, and he said it's really good. So, yeah, it doesn't look like it's, although the writing is quite small in it, I was going to say it doesn't look too big. There is, how many pages? 325 pages, so it's only a small book. So, yeah, we'll get to that, and we will talk about that on a wrap-up to come. This is the other book that I picked up from TK Maxx. I've heard of this. Again, I hadn't read it. Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. It says Page Classics. In Virginia Woolf's modernist masterpiece, Mrs. Dalloway, a single day in post-World War I London reveals the inner lives of Clarissa Dalloway and the people around her. As Clarissa prepares for an evening party, the novel explores themes of time, memory, and existential reflection with an intricate portrayal of mental health and societal pressures. There's a mouthful. Woolf's pioneering stream of consciousness style captures the complexity of human thought, making this work a profound meditation on identity and life's fleeting nature. I always like to read classics because you do hear about them, and it was something that you were made to read in school, classics, but you never really, well, personally, I never really was very interested in them. But as I've got older, I have found them more interesting, and the ones that I've read recently I've found good. So yeah, I'll look forward to reading that. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that, but I thought it was worth picking up. It was only £3.49. The next book I've got is by L.J. Ross, and it is called Holy Island, a DCI Ryan mystery. Now, L.J. Ross writes a detective series mostly based in the northeast of England, or the north of England. So I've been to Holy Island recently, and there was all of her books were in the little gift shop there. This is not where I bought it, but I could have picked them up, but there's quite a few of them. I think there may be like 12 of them already, and she's still reading more. So yeah, I've been wanting to read these for a while. So it says, Detective Chief Inspector Ryan retreats to Holy Island, seeking sanctuary, where he is forced to take sabbatical leave from his duties as a homicide detective. A few days before Christmas, his peace is shattered, and he is thrust back into the murky world of murder when a young woman is found dead amongst the ancient ruins of the nearby priory. When former local girl Dr. Anna Taylor arrives back on the island as a police consultant, old memories swim to the surface, making her confront her difficult past. She and Ryan struggle to work together to hunt a killer who hides in plain sight, while pagan ritual and small-town politics muddy the waters of their investigation. Murder and mystery are peppered with a sprinkling of romance and humour in this fast-paced crime whodunit set on the spectacular Northumbrian island of Lindisfarne, cut off from the English mainland by a tidal causeway. Holy Island is a fascinating place to visit if you ever get the chance, and I love a detective story. So yeah, I hope this is good, because if it is, there's lots more of the books to get my teeth into. I've actually downloaded one of them to my Kindle. I think it was free on Kindle Unlimited, and I think it's the one that's set around the Angel of the North, which is actually just a 5-minute walk from my house. So I'm interested to read that one as well. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on how I get on with that. The next book is also from the library, and this is a poetry book, and it's called Wild Hope by Donna Ashworth, Healing Words to Find Light on Dark Days. Davina McCall says it's beautiful and uplifting. Now, we had a really hard year last year, and I could possibly have done with this book then. A really hard year, very difficult year. So I've actually started reading the book. I've read half of it, and there is some beautiful poems in here. It's modern poetry, so it's not like the poetry from 100, 200 years ago, which I've always struggled with. I find it difficult to read, don't really understand it, but this poetry is definitely, I definitely understood it, and it did speak to us. Some of them actually made us cry. But in a good way. It made us cry in a good way. I'm just seeing if I can find one that I really liked. This one, I think this is the one that made us cry. So I'm going to try and read it without crying, and it's called Listen for Me. Listen for me in the music, in the songs we held so dear. I'll find a way to play them so you will feel me near. Each verse will lift your spirits, embrace your weary soul. Each word my soul is sending to help you feel more whole. Listen for me in the music, and nature's music too. The birds will sing my message, they'll chorus my love for you. The wind will play the trees as you are walking by. If you listen very closely, my heart's in every sigh. Listen for me, my love, I'll find a million ways to whisper in your ear that I'm not so far away. I can feel myself going again as I'm reading that. It's uplifting as well as being quite sad, and there is a lot more poetry in here that is more uplifting and didn't make us cry. But I think this is a beautiful book, and I think I am going to actually buy the book because it is so. The poetry is so beautiful. When the world leaves you weary and the road ahead is dark, Donna Ashworth's powerful words will bring comfort and lead you to the light. So inspiring, so heartfelt. The way Donna writes is beyond beautiful, says Lisa Snowden, and I would quite agree. If you're not into poetry but would like to, then maybe start with this book because I have found it quite inspiring. And we will go now to the last book, which is very, very different to that one. So we'll end on an up note. And this is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is the cloth-bound edition, and it is from Amazon. My son Simon bought this for me, and it was delivered to us from Amazon, and I got it and I thought, I haven't ordered anything. So he'd ordered it as a surprise. And the reason he did is because me and Simon are going to be doing a video together on the Books with Karen channel. We're both going to read this book, so he's got a copy of it as well. This is Bram Stoker's Dracula, so the original Dracula book. We're going to read this, and then we're going to watch the Dracula film that was inspired by Bram Stoker, which had Keanu Reeves and Anthony Hopkins in. We are going to compare them on video. So that will be a future video that you can look forward to if that is something that interests you. So I think everybody knows what Bram Stoker's Dracula is about. It's about Dracula. He comes to Whitby. He gets involved with Lucy and I can't remember the girl's name now. Lucy and Mina. I think he ends up killing Mina. He turns her into a vampire, and obviously she dies, and then comes back to life as a vampire, and they kill her, and then he gets inside Mina's head as well. And you have got Jonathan Harker, who is Mina's boyfriend, who wants to try and sever the connection between Dracula and Mina. And you've got Van Helsing, who is the vampire hunter, who was Anthony Hopkins in the film. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I have read this before many years ago, and Whitby is a place I have been to many, many times. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it. I know Simon started it, and he says he's quite surprised how much he's enjoying it, because I think it is written in a old English kind of way. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Dracula. I really have a thing about vampires, anything vampires, and I'm there. I think, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, loved it. True Blood, loved it. Vampire Diaries, the originals, just love anything vampires. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. So those are all of the books that I have bought or got from the library recently or borrowed. So is there any in there? Is there any of those books that you've read? Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Or if you've picked up a book recently that you think I might be interested in, also let me know in the comments below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.